Ken, Talib. We're here behind the process with Melissa at Highlight Creative Studios in Burlington. Want to introduce yourself?
Hi everybody, I'm Melissa Ferguson Adams, and I am a photographer, creative, and now the new owner of Highlight Creative Studio.
Beautiful establishment, by the way. Beautiful, beautiful. Really love it. What made you come up with this idea to have this studio?
Yeah, so I've been doing photography now for about 5 years, and when I have a client, always looking for a space to shoot them if they don't want to shoot outdoors.
Right.
And so generally, I was having to go all the way to North Jersey. Jersey City generally has like really good studio spaces, or I would go all the way to Philly. And so I was like, man, South Jersey, like we don't have a space. I mean, there are other studios, but I just felt like there weren't multi-purpose use spaces that can be used for photography, videography, podcasts, and even small events.
Right.
So that's where.
So you said small events. So you do small events here as well?
Yeah. So we've had a 60th birthday party, a first birthday party. We have baby showers coming up, and we also
event.
Yeah. So we also have a fitness class every Friday that's coming as well.
And you come and get right too?
That's super dope.
Health as well.
Yes.
Yeah, drop that on them. And so how did you come about finding this location? Is this the ideal location that you had in mind, or did it just see it one day like, oh, we need that?
Yeah, so actually I was working around the corner on High Street. There's a photography studio. It's a shared lease space. So about 8 other photographers share the lease and pay for that. And so I was like walking around the corner one day and I saw that there was a boutique here and that it was closing. And so I was like, maybe I can bet on myself and try something out and see if this space would be available to lease. And it was.
Talk about that process. What was it like getting the lease and everything and getting in here?
Yeah, so it was a really quick process, actually. So the boutique closed. One day she was selling all her fixtures and things, and so I walked in and I was like, oh, let me peep out the space and see the layout, and the lighting was really, really important for me as a photographer with the natural light. And so I came in one day and I checked out everything she was selling, the lighting. I love the high ceilings in here. I love the 2 spaces. So behind this wall, there's another space, and so I just love the flow of this space. So literally, I think a week after I checked it out, she actually closed the space down.
Oh wow!
And my husband is a realtor, and so
shout him out, shout that plug.
Yes, so Jabari Adams is a realtor, specializes with first-time home buyers. So Google him, Instagram him, so he can get you a house. And he's actually transitioning into commercial real estate. So
big money.
This was his first commercial deal working with me, his wife. And so he reached out to the realtor or the owners of this space, who are also realtors. And he was like, yeah, we don't have anybody looking at this space. You would be the first. So come in. And he was like, let me make sure that the woman, moves out officially. And then he was like, we can get you in. So I think it was like 2 weeks. I came in, met with the realtor, and he was like, I trust your vision. I'm into it. Nobody's ever done it in this space. And so he was like, let's do it. If you want to do it, let's do it. And so we negotiated some terms, and
always got to negotiate something.
Yes.
Got to make it work for us.
Yes.
All right. So someone that's looking to do the same thing, get their first space, what are some of the things that they should look into or think of prior to signing the lease?
I definitely think, like I said, making sure that the space works for you, and that it has the amenities that you need for your clients and all that. Like I said, negotiation is really important, especially coming out of COVID. People are trying to get spaces filled, and so you can pretty much ask for anything. You might not get it, but you can ask for it.
Don't hurt to ask.
Yes.
Seriously.
So ask about utilities. Are they paying for it? Can you negotiate it? One of the things we asked about, what was really important to me being a new creative space in the area, is that we needed time to market.
Right.
And we also needed time to kind of renovate the space. So what you see is all white walls, very neutral space, but everything was purple, pink, and gray. And so I was like, I need time to like put my sauce on it and kind of get the buzz out.
Right.
So that was one thing we negotiated was we got like a month free so that we can do some renovations.
That is a great deal.
We could do some renovations. We could get the buzz out and promote for that month.
What's up?
So it was a quick turnaround, but we used that month and we got to work. We actually had a friend. His name is Omar, local, and he like did all the painting for us, and that really helped us save on costs as well. But I would definitely just make sure that the utilities are right, that you have good landlords that will, if we have a leak, very responsive. Just making sure you have a good team behind you. Yeah.
So also, like, tell us, like, basically what all you specialize in here, and what type of events have you had so far? Or
I like to say that this space is for creatives of all types, entrepreneurs, business owners. We had some inquiries for podcasts as well. And like I said, we have a duo partnership, a girl who does step fitness and then a girl who does kettlebell. So they're going to partner and they're going to come in on Friday evenings for a month and do.
I don't know, maybe I need to get up in here and get summertime fun.
Yes. And so we've also had I've been talking to another organization about doing a back to school event, a back to school drive.
That's dope. Holler at us about that.
Yes. We've had a AAU basketball team come in here and they shot their promo shots. So it's definitely a multi-use space, birthday parties, baby showers. We've had wedding inquiries, which I'm shocked about.
Oh, wow.
But
I saw you had the art in here somewhere, right? So I can see that happening.
So it's definitely a multi-use space, and I love that. I love that.
So that's actually a good key for anybody out there that's looking to open up their space, right? Because instead of just keeping it to herself, she opened it up and did a partnership with somebody else that has totally different industry than you are, and y'all still partnering and making money, and everybody wins. You know what I mean? It's helping you keep the doors open. You know what I mean? That's the less that you got to worry about. And that's actually a good idea. And
one thing I wanted to just kind of bring up, because I've been noticing that a lot of people don't know about it, but Peerspace, peerspace.com is what we list this space on.
Peerspace.com.
Yes, peerspace.com. I like to say that it is like Airbnb for creative spaces and production spaces. So if you have a space that you feel like could be multi-use, it's even houses on there.
Oh, word.
Pools, warehouse spaces.
Pools, like what, you go rent a pool?
You could rent a pool for a shoot. There are warehouse spaces. There are storefronts on there. So when they're closed, people are just making extra money. So we've been getting a lot of our inquiries through Peerspace. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
All right. So you say you have just like a party here. Do you have to have some type of insurance for the building or for the business itself to have those kind of events?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a couple of different insurances. So
cover yourself.
Our landlord has building insurance for sure. Then Peerspace, as a Peerspace host, you're covered through there. So,
oh wow.
So currently, all of my bookings go through Peerspace because I know I have that coverage, that was covered, and then I have coverage as a photographer, so all of my equipment and everything you see in the building is covered, and then we have like personal coverage.
Right.
They try to sue us or something.
Especially here doing fitness.
Yeah.
I get hurt.
I forbid that happens, but we cover it. So.
Allstate, you're in good hands.
Yeah. So, and we're looking into, being new into the business.
Okay.
It's like we're looking into getting a lawyer or someone that can like really kind of walk us through the process and the verbiage and all that. So I would say that's important because you think you know things and then things come up and we're trying to.
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. Yeah.
So that's a good thing. So that's that kind of whole point of this process. So, people can live through you, you know what I mean? And don't make the same mistakes that you did make. So shout out to Behind the Process, a shameless plug. So you mentioned Peerspace, they cover their insurance as well. So is there like a monthly subscription with that? Or so how does that work?
Great question. So they take 20% of each booking.
Oh, wow.
20%.
Oh, yeah.
It is hefty, but being a new business owner, I do see the benefits in it because it's like advertising. You know, you're paying for advertising.
Right.
We are averaging like an inquiry a day.
Oh, that
so
ain't
those
bad.
are people that I
Ain't
might not
bad
have
at all.
reached on Instagram or via my website. And so for that, they could take their 20%.
It's definitely worth the 20.
Yeah.
Yes. And then
Not trying to drop the 5.
yes. And then the coverage, you know, you're paying for coverage as well.
Yeah.
So.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty good.
It's still a win though.
Yeah.
All right, so going through the process of getting it open, you just talked about you got the space, you got the insurance now. So what were you doing in between to keep the money coming in and to get the building off the ground?
Yeah, so you know, so like I said, I'm a photographer. I do shoot out of here. I'm blessed and grateful to have the clientele that I do have, and I think actually having this space has opened me up to new clientele. So generally, I'm shooting. I do have a 9 to 5 corporate job. So typically I can't really shoot during the week. So I do shoot on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays generally, and a lot of that money is using to pay the rent. So, you know, it is my passion, but that passion is kind of fueling this passion of this physical space. So my goal one day is that this space will pay for itself. And we're getting there. We've only been open since April, so what is that, like 3 or 4 months?
Yeah, like 3 months. Not even, yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting there, but I will say that my photography, what I make the profit from that is kind of helping to pay the bills.
Well, you're not wrong with that. You're not using the 9 to 5 money, so
very true, very true.
And then I want to speak to your partner, Jabari, your husband. You know what I mean? The importance that having the right person, you know what I mean, in your life is, because you were telling us before that how much he had helped you. So
definitely.
Shout out to Jabari.
Shout out to the husband, because he is like the biggest cheerleader ever.
Need that support.
There are a lot of partners who would have been like, "You want to do what?" No, but he was like, "Yeah, we doing it." And there are many times where I'm like, "Why did I do this?" And he's just like, "But like, what if, you know, it blows up? What if it can create generational wealth for us? What if it can pay off our home or pay off our, you know, kids going to college?" So he's like, I'm a day-to-day like reality person, and he's like the dreamer, like, and he thinks months in advance. So we level each other out that way.
That's
and
dope.
I'm very grateful for his positivity.
Yes. So you were saying that Jabari was trying to talk you into at times you thinking about giving up or whatever. So give us one of those times when every entrepreneur goes through it, every business owner goes through it, where they're like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. What kept you going through that process?
Good question.
In full transparency, since I would say January, I am up until about 3 a.m. Editing photos for my clients. And after opening this space, everything was a yes for me. Like anytime I got an inquiry, I used to say I don't like photographing events. And I was like, yes, I will photograph an event, absolutely. So every inquiry I had, I was saying yes, because I knew now I had this big bill that I had to pay for. And so I think I would say from February until present day, I've just kind of taken on a lot, especially with my like corporate job. And so after, you know, 9 to 5, you know, you do kind of, I have children, so I do the mommy and the wife thing from like, you know, 6 to 9, and then I'm up editing so that I can get my product to my clients.
Right.
And so, you know,
hustling. And
I'm a night owl. Like, I flourish after dark. But it's hard when you gotta get up. You going to bed at 3, and then you gotta get the kids on the bus.
A lot of coffee, probably, huh?
Yes. And at my job, there's an 8:30 call every single day.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Yes. So I've had a lot of like, I'm tired. My eating habits are a lot different, and I'm just like, why are you doing this to yourself? And then you still trying to be social, trying to be a good friend, make all the events. We could be outside now, so it's a lot of balancing. And I'm just like, how and why are you doing this to yourself?
Small sacrifices.
Yes, but I believe in this vision so much. I believe in creatives. I believe in entrepreneurs, and I don't know, like I look at my children and I'm like, they're in here a lot, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Mommy, like this is really cool, and I'm so proud of you." And then,
Oh, that's
and then
so
for
dope.
Jabari to kind of like follow that up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, all right, this is why I'm up, and this is why I'm doing these things. And then my clients, like when they get their photos back, and they're so excited about
Yeah.
that memory that they can have for forever.
Mhm.
All of it fuels me. So.
Yep, they gonna remember Highlight Creative Studios.
Yes, yes.
All right, so you mentioned you have your 9 to 5 still. You being a mom, you got to be a wife. So do you have like a building manager or something? So like, say for instance, if somebody wanted to book an event while you are doing your 9 to 5, do you have somebody to do that? No. So what happens? So what happens then?
Like I said, it's a lot of multitasking. It's a lot of multitasking.
You need a job, you might want to hit her up.
Yes. I'm like, Jabari's like, you need an assistant. And I'm like, hubby, you the assistant.
Right.
So yeah, I've been doing some training with him.
Mhm.
So we've been doing we have a lot of clients, they see the listing or they see the pictures
Mhm.
on Instagram, but they're like, oh, I want to do a walkthrough. So we have a lot of walkthroughs. So I've been training Jabari. We have mock walkthroughs.
Okay.
And then every brand, right, has a tone.
Yeah.
And I can't always be that person.
Right.
And so I've kind of been talking to Jabari a lot about what my brand tone is, very approachable,
Right. Mhm.
warm. I am a woman, so sometimes he kind of has to, if he steps in, he kind of has to
Be a little
warm
more
it up a
stern.
little bit. So I think that we've kind of been tag teaming on that front, and he's been helping me out a lot.
Okay, that's pretty. All right, so we had some good discussion on how you got here to this space. So now let's do a walk around. Show us your spot.
I would love to.
All right, let's do it.